Ladies and gentlemen, after about 16 years of intense hardcore education from primary school onwards, I have graduated uni. That's college for the Americans. And, well, I want to talk to you about a couple of things. I have a few funny stories that I'd like to share about it, and I want to talk to you about the future of the channel, what you can expect here, how and if this is going to change things, and so on and so forth, basically. So, I guess the first thing I want to start off with is, most people I've talked to say they feel no different after they've graduated. It's like, I'm not really aware of it yet. It's sort of all the same. I do. What are you talking about? I feel very different and blinded. Sorry about that. Because it feels like a huge part of your life is over and is never coming back when you graduate. At least to me, you're never going to sit in front of a professor again, right? Well, unless you continue PhD and master studies, but that's drastically different, right? Well, at least it is over here. It just feels like the epoch of your life is over, and it feels like a huge leap in some direction, forwards or backwards. I guess that's mostly up to you to make of it what you will, but yeah, anyways, I do feel radically different. But the point is, I suppose, that I'm trying to make, which is what concerns most of you, I would assume, at least, you clicked on the video, is that damn it, I intend on pretty much continuing this as a hobby until I drop dead at some point. I assume I'm going to have more time now. Maybe not objectively, but subjectively. Because, well, it sort of depends on a person's perception of what he has to do and everything. But even if, you have a job and you have a family and you have a bunch of things you need to do during the day, you might have physically less time, but uni feels like you have no time ever because there's constantly something looming on the horizon that demands your full attention. A job is like, 8 hours, 10 hours a day, whatever your working hours are, right? And then you come home and then, sure, it's there next day, but there's, you don't have homework is what I mean, right? You don't have an essay to write on like 600 pages about Henry V or something. It's, don't get me wrong, in some ways it's easier to write a 500-page essay, which we've never had to do, I'm exaggerating horribly, but in some ways it is easier to write an essay than, work in an office 9 to 5, depending on, your personal, sort of, your personal take on the entire situation, but anyways, I feel like subjectively there's more time to do stuff, and kind of paradoxically feels like life in general sort of slows down for you a little bit, because you're jumping from one stressful situation to the next, from one exam to the next grade to the next, and it's chaotic, right? There's a sense of stability in work and adulthood, I suppose. Well, adulthood, it's people graduated 25, 26. I wouldn't exactly call them children, but you know what I mean. There's a sort of sense of stability in mid to late adulthood. Anyways, be that as it may, I did devote a substantial amount of mental capacity and time to university, and it shows. I mean, there's no way of saying this without being braggadocious, so I'll just embrace it at this point. I finished with, I think, the top, if not the top 2, which is, in other words, I'm second, grade mark in my whole year, which is pretty darn impressive, considering I've been doing YouTube, considering I have been exceptionally lazy for the vast majority of my life and just took the easy way and the faster way of doing things. I didn't really care about grades all that much in middle school and primary school and stuff. I mean, I had good grades, but I had good grades without trying. Now, that's sure. Say that on the internet, Juggernaut. I'm sure that'll end exclusively well for you. What I mean to say is, like, I've had good-ish grades, depending on who you ask again. I've been mostly an A to B plus student. For the Americans, we use numbers here, so it's like 4.5 to 5. That's sort of been my 5 being maximum. That's sort of been my grade average around primary and high school. But yeah, I've sort of kicked it up a notch in uni, I suppose. And you know, it takes mental capacity, it takes focus, it honestly chips away at pretty much everything else. Social life, health, everything. It's sort of a conscious trade-off that you do. But my point is, I've always sort of been doing YouTube as a hobby, and yes, sometimes I go 4 or 5 days without posting a video because there's an exam and I stress over it for 4 days and then I cram study for like 2. But it's some people are just like that. There's not much you can do to change. You can just sort of embrace that and try and work around it a little bit. You can't really force yourself into one thing or another, but regardless of the fact, the point is, anyone can finish uni, and I say this with a fair bit of conviction and now a fair bit of experience too. The amount of work you're going to need to put in to finish uni will vary wildly depending on how much you know about the stuff you're studying prior to actually enrolling. Yes, how intelligent are you? How much time does it take you to remember all the Shakespearean plays in my case, or whatever it is, if you're studying engineering or medicine or whatever. That will vary, but pretty much anyone can finish it with enough time and dedication. Finish it with good grades, that's where we sort of get into a different territory I honestly can't speak much about. But the problem, quite the opposite, the good thing, I suppose, is I feel like I'll have more time, honestly, and energy and focus to dedicate to this. But so much so about the channel, I mean, I'm pretty much going to still continue doing the same things. I'll do Let's Plays of the games I enjoy playing, first impressions and reviews, previews and stuff like that. I haven't done many shorts in a while, so I'm going to get back into those. I'll try to, at least. Hello. Also, I want to talk to you about a couple of funny things in uni that we sort of, well, some of them are funny, some of them are semi-tragic. Here's the thing, we don't have a graduation ceremony in my faculty, which is, okay, so I should I should kind of explain this probably a little bit better. So it's part of, the university is part of 3 different segments, if you will. One is for languages and arts, the other 2 are for law and economics, respectively. So, law and economics, they have a proper graduation ceremony, they bring flowers, they take pictures, put on, dress up and all of that, great. Languages and art, nothing. And I do mean quite literally nothing. You pass your last exam, and that's it. Your last exam can be anything, anything that you haven't passed up until that point. You just choose whenever you want to take it, you pass your last exam. If you do it within, if you pass all your exams within 4 years, great things happen. You don't have to pay pretty much anything. The government pays you if you have okay grades. Well, okay, if you have good grades, you need to have, I think, 8.5 or above out of 10. The government pays you. It's not much, but it helps pay the bills and stuff. So yeah, that's it. There's no graduation ceremony, and it is the weirdest thing ever, especially under the influence of like movies and Hollywood and all that stuff. Like, your graduation ceremony is supposed to be like this whole big thing where you put on the funny looking hats and you're like, then there's a speech, and then they give you those rolls of paper that are strange and probably useless, and so on and so forth. But no. I mean, you get the diploma. It's an internationally recognized faculty, and yeah, it's, you know, yeah, all the paperwork and everything. It's just there's no celebration of any sort. Well, there is a celebration if you want to celebrate, but there's no like there's no formal recognition of. Okay, sorry about that. There's no such formal like recognition, like any kind of ceremony or anything, which is weird. And I guess that kind of plays into the thing where a bunch of people I went to uni with are like, yeah, I don't really feel like I've graduated. It's just, you know, okay, now what? Well, now now things change drastically, so, you know, better get used to it. Anyways. I do have a couple of moderately interesting news as well on the subject. I've been thinking about doing like a couple of videos for uni, if that makes sense, or about university and stuff in general, because I feel like now that I've gone through the complete experience, I can share stuff that's useful to my audience and the internet in general. Just a couple of like pointers to tell you what to do. God, that sounds so wrong. So stuck up and stuff. But like to tell you what worked for me and the general sort of mindset and everything. Because well, I'm going off of this. Had someone told me this at year one, I would have had a much better time, and I would have, you know. And I would have done better, but I would have had an easier time at uni with the knowledge that I have now, right, about how the system works and everything, and how generally what your mindset's supposed to be like, and etc. etc. But anyways, I'll debate with myself whether I want to do something like that or not. What I do want to do though is I have a driving test thing coming up. I don't actually know what you call it in the States or in Britain, which I've just realized. It's a driving test, right? That's what you do. But it's... Do you have a different word for... or is there a different word for the whole experience? Like, because there's different parts of the driving test. It's the... you have theory, you have the actual test where you drive, you have first aid, which is a thing you need to learn how to do before you can be sent out to the road. Maybe the system's different in where you live. But anyways, it's a whole complicated procedure, and it's kind of back to school, which is ironic, I guess, considering I just said, you know, you're never going to school again, but or university, whatever, it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, anyways, like, I have that coming up, which is okay, I guess. Most people are excited, I'm not. Feels like a chore, honestly, but you know, it is what it is. It's a necessity in the modern world and all of that. But furthermore, there was a furthermore to this, wasn't there? Yes, I also am going to purchase a firearm. Yes. Now, why is that exciting? Because I'm going to do videos on it. Because I'm going to shoot stuff. Not just that one. I'll probably... Here's the thing. I'll let you in on a little secret. I've shot an M16. Juggernaut, we saw the video. No, you didn't. I shot a Colt M4 and an M16. There was nobody to take videos of me. I went to Belgrade for like 2 days, or a day actually. It was 1 day, and it was an experience. Don't get me wrong, it was very much an experience. Loved it, but there was nobody around to, like, you know, take a photo or a quick little video or something. So, anyways, I'll probably be doing that, and I'll show you the gun, and I'll show you all of that good stuff, and you know, we'll sort of graduate from airsoft shorts to handgun shorts, and now everyone can stop making fun of me in the comments. Really? Nah, there was like 5 people on a video that had 600, 700,000 views. Really, I have no cause to complain. Just making jokes at my own expense. Anyways. What the hell is wrong with this gun in that? Anyways, let's not think about it too much. So that is a thing, and also I do intend on continuing to Master Studies, which I'm not sure if I've mentioned yet or not. You enroll pretty much immediately after you graduate, so I'm going to have to go and enroll into that, and you do pay for it, and it's kind of expensive, even if the government funds part of it, which it does. Anyways, complaints aside, financial ones at least, it's very much a different experience. It's like a weekend course, basically. You have lectures on weekends, and it's a very different kind of lecture, right? Because, well, at least I can't speak for other universities on this because I genuinely don't know. But here it's like you're hanging out with your mates, and you just happen to have to do a job, which is Master Studies. And they have something to tell you, whereas lectures, in actual primary school and high school, in university and so on and so forth, are proper lectures, as you would expect them to be in any kind of school. Master Studies are they have a different format. They're just they're just different. Anyways, I do intend on continuing. Then in all honesty,
That's right.
probably will try and get a PhD too. I don't see why not. It's just sort of a natural continuation of things, and yeah, I don't really see why why I wouldn't do that. The reason I say that is I know a lot of people that give up after finishing university and just go and get a job and work. But a master's degree is like, you get a job plus you get benefits because you have a master's degree, and you get better employment, you can get higher salaries and stuff like that. It's really just like, it's a couple of months of extra effort, and then you have to write the actual thing, which is, it's lengthy, there's a lot of work, but it's kind of a side project. I think 99.9% of people get a job while they're at their master's degree, and that's the sensible thing to do. Why wouldn't you? I mean, you do have lectures only on the weekend, and like I said, they're very different. Plus, the whole thing costs, so you gotta pay it somehow. I know in America and parts of Western Europe, students get jobs get jobs in general while studying, like part-time and stuff. Not really a thing over here, part-time jobs. I mean, I guess it's kind of catching up now. A lot of people are teaching online, like online schools and stuff, which, it's not a lot of money, but it's a part-time job. It sort of helps along. Which school, I like that, I support that. Done it myself for a couple of months. I thought I was being horribly underpaid, and generally hated it. So, anyways, let's. What was this all about? All the way back here. Damn. Again, never mind. So, anyways, that was that about the whole shablam. It's a new time. It's an exciting time. It's the best of time. It is the worst of time. Yeah, he even talks like a freaking. Look at him. It's all smug in his literature. It's a joke. Anyways, where was I going with this? Yes, just covered. Job. I'll have to work somewhere. Boo-hoo. People also get kind of depressed about that. At least the ones I've talked about. It's like, oh no, I'm a slave now. I have to work, and there's no more free stuff. And I'm like, yeah. How's that a bad thing? I mean, on the one hand, how's it a bad thing that you have to, actually be a functioning member of society, which you weren't up until this point? No, I'm kidding. But what I mean is, how is that a bad thing? Like, you have to learn some responsibility now for your finances. A lot of people have never worked a day in their lives in uni. Well, I say a lot, like a fair number of of no sort of working experience, yeah, you now have to learn about paying your taxes and, you know, actually your tutorial and prologue are over. Now you actually have to, you know, work and function in society. That's not a bad thing. Why would you prefer to, like, just live off of someone else for the rest of your life and you know, attend lectures and go to uni or whatever? And just like, no, it's, you move on, right? You move on. That's normal. But speaking of, I will find a job, hopefully, potentially. But I'm probably the only person on the probably the only person on the job market that will try and fit the work schedule around his part-time YouTube career, which, call me dedicated, call me crazy, but that's kind of important to me that I have time to do both. Even if that means I'll record most of the videos on weekends and then upload them during the day if it's, you know, a busy week at work or something, or if I have other stuff to do. Doesn't matter, but, you know, as long as I can do what I do now with relative regularity, I'll be happy, and that's something I'll be looking for in general. So, I suppose that's good news for well, for my channel, and good news for you, hopefully, hypothetically, maybe, because, you know, dare not assume anything. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. This has been a rant about me finishing uni and, honestly, in many ways, opening up my soul to the internet and telling you what I think about the whole situation. So yeah, there you go. It layeth bare before thine eyes. Make of it what you will. But I've done it. I've done it, and I am extremely happy about it.
Show me what you've got. Which
is apparently weird because nobody else is. Not that I've finished, but you know
Hey.
That they finished it. They don't like really appreciate the fact. At least most people that I've talked to. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video and want to stay tuned with the rest of the content that I produce on the channel, which I'll continue to produce on the channel. Very much so. See you all next time. Have fun. Take care. Then bye bye.